Hello, welcome. As always, welcome to today's live market analysis session in the aftermarket analysis station. This is the aftermarket analysis session. Here, after the Indian markets Nifty and Bank Nifty close, we look at where the buyers showed interest, where the sellers showed interest, and where the prints provided what kind of confirmation. If you are new and want to learn order flow, or how to use GoCharting effectively, you can join this live session every day at 5 p.m. The link to the live session is posted in the GoCharting Telegram and Discord community. Secondly, if you are using GoCharting at that time, a notification pop-up appears on the right side. You can also click on this to join through the link. Okay. And secondly, GoCharting is launching its YouTube channel in almost every possible language. You will find the links to all those YouTube channels in the description, whether it's Hindi or Ravi Singh's English. And now, holy, when it came, we launched a 30% off, so currently, there is still a 30% off on all annual subscriptions. Okay, and this offer is valid until April 7th. So this means 6 days left. Anyone who wants to purchase anything annually will get a flat 30% off. Before understanding the footprint of Nifty, before examining it closely, let's firstly take a look at the volume profiles to see how the volume profile was what the same zone of yesterday was. Carefully. Okay, plus, if we look at the sessions of the last 3 to 4 days, their consolidation zone was also the same as yesterday's zone. So we had already covered both of these. Secondly, in any case, if it breaks down from here, then we had 1. There was a rejection from here. And there was also a volume note. If it slightly went down from here, there was a volume note. And this was a volume note. We only looked at the volume. Now, based on these volume notes, we look at the footprint and see where, how, what was the interest of the buyers and sellers, and how they were interested. Before reading the footprint, you should know what delta is. Because, with the help of delta, we will read the footprint here. That is the delta. Here, the tick size for Nifty is whatever it is, 180. And for Bank Nifty, the tick size. You can adjust anything according to auto settings. Secondly, if you keep it above 400, it will be quite helpful. Because Nifty is at 23,000, I am setting it at 180. At 23,000, for Nifty, it's 180, so Bank Nifty is double that of Nifty. Okay, so being around 400 will be a bit more comfortable. Okay. No, wait. This delta. The difference between the delta, buyer and seller, we call delta. Meaning, the buyer and seller are on the buyer's side. Right side, seller, left side. Whatever the difference between these two is, we will call it delta. Like, we take the first candle. Is this the first candle? Okay. What is its delta? The topmost value of the delta is around 3,000. 33,000. Its delta does not have any negative sign and in the green box, so it means this is a positive delta, and a positive delta always denotes buyers. This value belongs to the buyers. A positive delta means there are more buyers within this particular candle. 33,000 as compared to sellers. Let's say there are 100,000 sellers, and there are 133,000 buyers there. Minus sellers plus buyers. Okay, so what is the delta value? 33,000. Simple. Now this is one candle. Instead, let's take this candle. This is one candle. What is the delta of this candle? 76,000. There is a negative sign in front of the value and in the red box. This means it is a negative delta. Negative delta, always the notes. Negative delta means sellers, simply put. There are more sellers inside this candle as compared to buyers. And how many more sellers are there? 76,000. If I had sellers on the left side, then I will remove 76,000. Whereas if I had only buyers on the right side, then I will remove them. 1 lakh. So, what is the difference? 76,000. This is the value of its delta. We understand delta every day. Why do we give so much importance to delta? The essence of each candle is revealed to us, like this candle, what happened in this candle, who is powerful? By looking at the simple delta, we can tell whether it's the buyer or the seller. The buyer is powerful. This candle is a green candle. But nothing like a buy happened. What do the deltas inside this tell us? Negative means there are more sellers inside this green candle. Off color, in color. But no buying happened at all inside this. You will see two types of deltas. You will. One candle with just 15,000, 18,000, 14,000, 10,000, 1,000, just 6,000, just 5,000, meaning very low values. And the other, 33,000, 44,000, 80,000, 76,000. Okay. Now let's consider both negative and positive. There are some candles whose delta is very heavy. 70,000, 80,000. Okay, some candles just 10, 20, 10, 20, 1, 6, 5, meaning these are the candles whose data is very low. And those with a very low delta have equally low buying and selling. And the candles whose can and the candles whose delta is very heavy. So that means there is a lot of buying and selling within those candles. And where there is a lot of buying and selling, those are the candles with the potential to move the market somewhere. So we will only follow those candles that have good buying and selling. Okay, what will be the value? It's around 30,000 or so. We will follow the candles whose delta is above that, like the first candle with a delta of 33,000, which had good buying. But in the first candle, all these things are normal. Like this is the first candle. Okay, what is more powerful in this? Which side is the buyer's side? This one. So now let's look at the buyer's side, which was the zone where there was the most buying. This was the highest buying zone here. So almost every buying is seen in the first candle. Pay attention to the first candle. Trade like this. There was a support zone here. The next candle, again below 30, again below 30, again below 30. Now, here, a buying has occurred at 38 and another buying at 44. There are two candles in which back-to-back solid buying was observed. Like the first candle, the second candle. Now, what was the buying zone of these candles? See, this is a positive delta. Moving on the buyer's side. We look at that particular place where the biggest buying occurred, because that is the zone that could have acted as support. It's simple. Transactions happen on all 4 sides. The biggest, at 85, and in the next candle, 44 and 32, meaning this was the buying zone. This was the particular buying zone. But there was also a resistance, which was yesterday's weak zone. This zone was the most important zone for today's session. It was yesterday's resistance zone, plus it was also the weekly resistance zone. Weekly in the sense of the last 3 to 4 days, and this resistance zone was not clearly broken. A buying attempt was made. Now let's see what happens after this buying attempt. The next candle showed super selling activity. It may look green, but there's nothing bullish about it. The next candle showed another solid selling, meaning 38,000 and 44,000 buying happened right there. And double. The selling occurred with selling happening here at the selling zone of 84,000, exactly where the buying had taken place. Again, sorry, where was the selling zone here? There was particular equal selling in every candle to this extent. Now, this candle gave a solid confirmation. What confirmation did it give? Firstly, all the buying zones broke here. This candle broke all the buys. So whatever buying activity happened here, it was all absorbed. Secondly, within these two candles, the aggressive selling that happened, the selling happened, meaning the price didn't go up from there. That aggressive selling brought the price down. A confirmation was received where a buying attempt was made, and it was absorbed. Secondly, the price faced rejection. From there, broke the buying zones, with heavy selling, and buying absorption, plus a significant pullback, occurred if you are comfortable with 15 to 20. Here, you are not here. Look here. There is no buying activity anywhere. If there is buying activity at 25, remember, there is also selling activity here. Look at this candle. There was no buying activity in this candle. It was a strong pullback. A significant pullback occurred right around that zone, trapping the market in another situation. If you see, that aggressive buyers entered in both these candles. But when aggressive sellers entered, like in this candle here, in this candle, nothing here, broke any zone to the upside, even once. And it broke the buying zone of this candle, and even tapped the buying zone of this candle. Tapped multiple times. Meaning which one is getting more respect. A small confirmation for selling was here too. Okay, there was resistance, right? Because we are giving a bit more importance to selling, since there was a significant rejection without a proper break with the bank. Two big candles. Again, heavy selling here too, a delta of 125K. On the negative side, data of 125K. Now look at the delta of 125K that this candle has received. If we go to the selling side, we can't find any point indicating where the particular largest selling occurred, because look, selling of 27 to 28K happened here. Look at the candle with a delta of 20 to 23K. Okay, the next candle has a delta of 125K, and here we found selling zones. Look, 49K, 96K, T1K, these were the selling zones of this candle. Perfect. In the next candle, again there was selling, meaning aggressive selling entered here. But they didn't get the opportunity to make such a large sale to bring the market down. Maybe there is no limit presence. When it came here, it came with a solid amount of selling. Okay, again there was selling in the next candle. In this entire downfall, the most selling happened in this selling zone. There was a good pullback. In the next three candles, look, there's no positive delta, it's just 1,000. And then, right there, another downfall. The biggest selling delta so far was found here, indicating which are the major selling zones. And these are those selling zones. Look at the 92, 46, 34, and 39, the biggest selling. Again came on the pullback, stuck right there. With rejection selling, there's no buying at all, only 5,000. Again came on the pullback. Here, there was a little trouble. Buying happened. Another buying occurred, but this candle confirmed somewhere that yes, these buys have been absorbed here, and holding that zone without any buying interest. This was even better. Again. Rejection. Okay, now, this selling here brought another selling. But after that selling, there was no movement to be seen anywhere, neither on the upside nor the downside. So if we look at Nifty today, what did we observe? The largest volume came in these two candles. One is, but buying came on the bank side. In the next two candles, more selling came, and almost all the bank zones were broken. Took a good rejection, pulled to the downside, and in this downside movement, the most selling happened here. Again, got stuck on the pullback, the biggest selling so far. Here, again a lovely pullback, dance. Some selling was observed here, but after that selling activity, there was no movement. Like the selling that happened here, a good pullback came, selling with movement. Again with movement. But here, not as much selling was seen with the movement. Now let's quickly look at Bank Nifty. It was very perfect today's. As the downside was coming, selling was also coming, quite significant, and in the pullback. Bank Nifty also moved properly like Nifty. Some buying activity was observed here. The rejection of these candles was absorbed. The biggest, significant data came here, with the rejection of selling. Which were the selling zones? 19, 20, and these 27 and 31, somewhere. Right there, once it got stuck on the pullback, selling activity happened again. Again it came on the pullback. From right here. Throughout the day, after the rejection, Bank Nifty gave a movement, and then went sideways. Like ours. Here, buying came within two candles at 10, 14, and 12K. This candle gave a rejection. From here, buying came on the full back. So, then down, then stir. This was about Bank Nifty. In Bank Nifty, a buying absorption was seen. With a slight selling, it took a significant rejection. Aggressive sellers entered. And then it took a rejection. But it didn't give that much momentum. This was a quick analysis of today's Nifty and Bank Nifty.